Today is April 15th. Happy Jackie Robinson Day. This is Daily Cards Live here on Claves Online. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. And Rammer, it'll be an historic week of baseball here for the Cardinals. It'll be the last time ever that the St. Louis Cardinals play in Oakland. Have you ever been to that stadium?
I have.
What year were you there?
Oh, it's probably been 20 years ago.
And it was awful back then?
Oh, yeah. Well, as we all know, starting with Shea Stadium, the cookie-cutter ballparks were a design disaster from the very beginning. Many cities have had to deal with it and move on. Just atrocious places, just a bad design. And people, well, what was wrong with it? Multi-purpose facilities rarely function well for a specific thing. Anyway, that's a show for another day. But yeah, it's Oakland Coliseum's trash. And then over the years, when things needed to be updated, who's going to pay for it? Is the club? Is it the Raiders? Is it the city? And it's just been a nightmare for Oakland and that stadium.
I will tell you this. I am in 2 years from now. So the way the new schedule works, for those that aren't fully on board with it yet, it's kind of jumping back and forth. So Cardinals will go to Oakland this year. The Athletics, no, they will have no team attached to them, no city attached to them. It'll just be the Athletics will play in St. Louis next year. And then in 2026, the Cardinals will play in Sacramento. While that new stadium in Vegas is being built. I think I want to make a trip out there and see Major League Baseball in a AAA stadium in a few years in Sacramento and see just what that's like. And knowing how well Cardinal fans travel, that might be a packed house or a packed lawn there in both teams come into this series with records of 7-9. On the year. Oakland is supposed to be bad. The Cardinals, we were told, were not going to be under 500. I know we're 2 weeks into the season. I still don't know the identity of this team. The offense is struggling a lot. I hope that's not the case all year long.
Well, yeah, of course. If it is, there will be major changes with suits and uniforms. I promise you.
Yeah.
So what's amazing to me is not the Cardinals and the Athletics are 7-9 each. Is that right?
Yes.
7-9. What's amazing to me is that the Athletics have won 7 games.
Right.
I don't see how.
It really feels like this is a Major League the movie type situation. When you see some of the drama and you read into some of the conspiracy theories of what's going on in Oakland with players that have been sent down or traded away or not being played for and you look at those are the players that kind of side with the fans through all of this and realize that, you know, we here in St. Louis are very, very familiar with what happens when an owner just does not want to be in that city anymore and sees greener pastures. And that's exactly what is happening right now in Oakland. And hell, for sports fans in general in Oakland, my God, this is the second time that they've had to deal with this in 8 years now, losing the Raiders and now losing the Athletics to Las Vegas. In both cases, it was an owner who didn't have the money to be there anymore or didn't want to spend the money to be there anymore and thought I could find somebody in Las Vegas that will spend the money and build something for us here. So you really feel for those fans.
And you left out Golden State moving across the bay to San Francisco.
Right.
I'm not neck deep in what goes on in the demographics in Oakland and mean income and the way the city counties. I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know. We do know that you feel for fans who are going to lose another team because it's happened to us. So you absolutely feel for them. Was there anything anybody can do? Probably, but the fact is it didn't get done.
Yeah.
And it's just it's really too bad for the fans. The team's going to be fine. But the city of Oakland will not be, and their fans will not be.
The no lineups out yet. The game starts 8:40 tonight, so lineups won't be out for quite some time as you and I sit here and do this show around 3:00 today. But Sonny Gray will make his second start of the season for the Cardinals. Looked really good in the first game that he pitched last Tuesday, and he faces the team that he made his major league debut with all the way back in 2013. Finishing third in the Cy Young voting back with them all the way back in 2015, was an all-star that year when he started 31 games and won 14 of them with a 2.73 ERA. And not a whole lot of A's have seen Sonny Gray for the most part, as he's kind of made his way around the league the last few years. No one on this team really has seen him outside of Seth Brown, 7 at-bats in his career. But on the other side, you have Ross Stripling pitching for the Athletics, and Paul Goldschmidt kind of owns him. 2 home runs, 19 at bats with a 1218 OPS. Also, Nolan Arenado, 1 home run and 15 at bats, hitting .467 with a 1329 OPS. So, Ramber, we talk about the offense. If there was ever a game to get those 2 guys going, it's facing Ross Stripling tonight.
Yeah, and I'm on record. It's still too early to make drastic changes in the lineup. I believe that, but I have to be honest. As the box scores roll through every day, and I look at the overall numbers, just over 2 weeks in, I'm looking at, okay, what would you do? One thing I wouldn't do is rest 20-year-olds who don't need resting. I wouldn't do that. The load management thing, leave that to the NBA, because the NBA is shooting itself in the foot and the head.
Time out. If I knew you were going to say this, I might have done some prep work on today's show and pulled the audio from Friday's edition of Daily Cards, where I talked about Mason Wynn and what to do with him. And you said, well, he can't play 160 games in the year. And now you're going against that, saying that you're over the load management, or what am I missing here?
All right. Well, what's missing is you don't know how to listen.
Okay.
Did I say the Cardinals need load management? Did I say he should sit out 3 days in a row? Did I say any of those things? Let me help you. The answer is no. What I said was, you can't play. You're not going in today's game. You're not going to play a guy every single day. And if you want to put a game around an off day, okay. But when you think about it, it's usually the guys like Arenado, Contreras, and Goldschmidt you think about getting those days. But when you're struggling for offense, you got to try and milk it a little bit with the guys who are hitting. And it's not just Wynn, it's also Herrera. Mm-hmm. And it's still too early to make drastic changes. But at some point, maybe the end of the month, first week of May, you might have to say, okay, our original concept was so-and-so hitting 5th or so-and-so hitting 9th. We can do better than that, and here's why. Let's start changing it around. We're one of the few clubs in baseball that say, well, here's our lineup from day one, and we're just going with it.
Yeah. Well, we will be with you tomorrow on Daily Cards, letting you know what happened last night and taking a look at the Tuesday night matchup. It's 3 games in Oakland, an off day on Thursday, and then back here in St. Louis this weekend. And Claib's also told me Friday nights it'll be the first Live at Lowe's down there. As look at that, we have a fan back there.
Yeah. Not liking the info.
Oh, well, sorry.
Cardinals are going to the Dogs.
Rammer, we are brought to you each and every day by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and also your friends at Royal Banks.
Yeah, Royal Banks of Missouri, whether you're looking for a new mortgage, a home equity credit line, maybe a refi, call the folks that are just terrific in the mortgage business at Royal Banks of Missouri. 314-212-1500 or go online to royalbanksofmo.com, and that will get you started down the path to financial success. It's Royal Banks. We're better.
He is
service,
Bob Ramsey. I'm
bank.
Joe Roderick. This has been another edition of Daily Cards Live right here on Claibs Online. Be back with another episode tomorrow. Also, the lunch show on tomorrow at noon with Mike Claiborne and myself. Also brought to you by the folks over at Mungenast St. Louis Acura. Until then, enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
A J-Bomb! Jordan Walker's first big league homer.
I'm a superpower. Yeah. Stand tall. Yeah. Raise strength from within me. Work hard till I die to the top. Take it with me. No height to my greatness. Now I'm free from the limits. I can fly like I'm weightless.